Hi and welcome to the latest Ancient Egypt news from the second week of the new year. Egypt has successfully recovered 7 ancient artifacts from the United States, marking another milestone in its ongoing efforts to reclaim cultural property illegally smuggled from the country. The Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities carried out the recovery in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs Sector, the Egyptian Embassy in Washington and relevant national authorities, with the support and cooperation of the US authorities. The repatriation follows sustained coordination between Egyptian and American institutions under the bilateral Memorandum of Understanding signed between the two countries to safeguard cultural property and combat its illicit trafficking. Shaban Abdel-Jawad, Director General of the Repatriation of Antiquities Department and Supervisor of the Antiquities Units in Ports, said the recovered artifacts come from several separate cases and cover different periods of ancient Egyptian history. The items include 2 mummified fish and a falcon head from the Ptolemaic period, seized by US Customs in June 2017. 3 other artifacts confiscated in 2018 were later confirmed following investigations to have been illegally smuggled into the United States. A bronze amulet of the deity Set, a basalt heart-shaped scarab from the late period, and a finely carved human head believed to date to the early New Kingdom. Also returned were a wooden Ushabti figurine coated with painted gesso dating to the late period, and a stone statue head voluntarily handed over to the Egyptian Embassy in Washington by an American citizen who wished to see it returned to its country of origin. In a statement, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities reaffirmed its commitment to working with national and international partners to recover looted Egyptian antiquities. The ministry emphasised that protecting and reclaiming these artefacts is a national responsibility and an integral part of Egypt's cultural identity, ensuring their preservation for future generations. Civil Aviation Minister Sameh El-Hefni said recently that Egypt's airports will replace paper landing cards with a digital system for all arriving and departing passengers by the end of January, aiming to simplify travel and improve the passenger experience. In a recent television phone interview, El-Hefni stated that the ministry is finalising a digital application to replace the paper passport card, which will enable passenger data to be processed electronically. The move, he said, is aimed at accelerating passenger flow inside terminals, particularly during peak travel periods, and raising service quality in line with international standards. El-Hefni stated that the reform is part of a broader strategy to digitise services across Egyptian airports, noting that a recent cabinet meeting, chaired by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, reviewed the latest developments in the pilot phase of the integrated electronic visa issuance system. The system will allow visa applications to be submitted and tracked online, reducing paperwork while ensuring speed and accuracy. He said the meeting also discussed procedures related to the emergency visa, with measures in place to ensure tourists can obtain it swiftly upon arrival, a step intended to support inbound tourism in the near future. El-Hefni said the ministry is also working to improve service quality at Egypt Air and strengthen its international ranking. Egypt Air currently operates 65 aircraft, with plans to expand the fleet to 97 within 3 years, down from an earlier target of 120. European countries and the United States have gradually phased out paper landing cards over the past 2 decades, replacing them with passport-based border controls and advanced passenger data systems. The United Kingdom followed suit in 2019, abolishing its landing card entirely and relying instead on e-gates, passport checks and advanced passenger information, overseen by the UK Border Force. Across continental Europe, Schengen countries moved earlier, with Nordic and Western European states eliminating routine paper cards between 2008 and 2011, followed by southern and eastern members by the mid-2010s. By 2015, paper arrival and departure cards had effectively disappeared across the Schengen area, as border authorities relied on biometric passports, airline data and national databases. To mark the new year, the Tel Basta Museum in Shakir and the Sharm el-Sheikh Museum in South Sinai have inaugurated 2 temporary archaeological exhibitions. The displays explore the concept of the new year in the ancient Egyptian civilization, focusing on the philosophy of time, the cycle of life, rebirth and renewal. Dr. Ahmed Hamida, head of the Egyptian Museum sector, stated that these exhibitions are part of a broader strategy to transform museums into cultural and educational hubs. By linking modern celebrations to their deep historical roots, the sector aims to provide the public with an accessible perspective on ancient Egyptian thought and strengthen the connection between Egyptian heritage and human identity. Under the title Wep Renpet Nefer, the Tel Basta Museum is hosting an exhibition that runs through to late February 2026. The showcase examines the start of the year in ancient Egypt and its vital link to the agricultural calendar and the cycles of nature. Mr. Ibrahim Hamdi, Director General of the Tel Basta Museum, explained that the exhibition highlights the ancient festival of Wep Renpet, the opening of the year. This official state holiday coincided with the Nile flood and the start of the 3 agricultural seasons: inundation, Akhet, emergence, Peret, and harvest, Shemu. The exhibition features 5 bronze statues, including 2 of Osiris from the Late Period and 2 of Isis from the New Kingdom and the Late Period, symbolizing fertility and rebirth. It also includes a statue of the deity Bes, the ancient patron of joy and festivities. The Sharm el-Sheikh Museum is presenting an exhibition titled When Time Begins Anew, offering a philosophical look at how ancient Egyptians perceived the eternal cycle of death and resurrection. Miriam Edward, General Supervisor of the Sharm el-Sheikh Museum, noted that the display focuses on Osiris as a symbol of cosmic order and the Djed pillar as a symbol of stability. The narrative traces the connection between the Osiris myth, the Nile flood and the New Year as a moment of cosmic rebalancing, involving deities like Isis, Horus and Sekhmet. Mr. Mohammed Hassanin, Director of the Sharm el-Sheikh Museum, revealed that the exhibition features 33 artifacts, many of which are being displayed for the first time. Some of the notable pieces are a gilded wooden box preceded by a figure of Osiris, a collection of Djed pillar amulets, and an Osirian coffin containing a mummy, and funerary amulets. Of the symbolic items, the Tiet, the knot of Isis, the white crown, and various ritual vessels and Zamzamiat, water flasks, from the New Kingdom and the Late Period. And for Sekhmet, a distinguished collection of statues dedicated to the goddess, who was central to New Year rituals performed to seek protection and maintain universal balance. And that's it for this week. This news podcast was brought to you by Ted Laux and GNT Tours. Ancient Egypt News is now rated in the top 5 Egypt history podcasts, according to feedspot.com. For 2026 tour dates, check out our website, gnttours.co.za. Follow us on social media, including YouTube. Thanks for listening to this episode. Please feel free to comment and share. Wishing you all a peaceful and joyous 2026. Until next time, thanks again. Cheers. Bye-bye.